Quack,
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 quack, quack,
quack.
quack.
Ducks fly together and podcasts live forever if you subscribe to Haven't Seen It on Apple or Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Seen It Pod. The Mighty Ducks coming up next. Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevenet. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time. And today, that person is Tommy. Tommy, just another one of those. Like, this is very peak, like, right when we grew up. This movie was, like,
Yeah.
the most popular movie in school. And I just have no idea how you just straight up missed it. And you actually like hockey. Like, you're a pretty big Devils fan. I mean, they suck now, but.
I mean, a pretty big Devils fan like 10 years ago. Nowadays, I just don't even watch fucking hockey. Yeah, this is another case of a sports movie that did not have the Looney Tunes in it, so I never saw it as a kid. So they should have made Hockey Jam or something.
Hockey Jam?
Or would it be Puck Jam or something?
Puck Slap.
Puck Slap. Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't write the things, but
the Looney Tunes. But yeah, this is fun. It was a nice little riff on Bad News Bears, but an enjoyable one. So I liked it.
So Tommy, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Did you see Black Adam?
I did not.
Surprisingly, I actually did, and I kind of want to talk about it.
Warning, there is clickbait in your area. I repeat, we have an instance of clickbait in your area.
It's Tim and Tommy talk about a DC movie, comic book movie, but just so we could put it in the title. So what have you heard of Black Adam?
I
And
mean,
do you have any
was-
interest in seeing it? Honestly.
I honestly I don't have that much of an interest in seeing it. I mean, even though I love comic book movies and The Rock, I'm okay with. I just heard that this movie was kind of mediocre. The Big Picture was talking about this as like one of the worst movies of like the decade, and I was like, do I really want to seek this out? And plus, it came out during spooky season. It wasn't a horror movie, so I couldn't watch it during October, obviously. And now I'm like, I don't care.
It felt like after the Robert Pattinson Batman, which felt like DC almost like stepping out and being like, "Hey, we're gonna like do cool, unique thing that Marvel's not doing."
Mhm.
And then Black Adam feels like, no, 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 we're going back to like Justice League 2017 scales of like what we were putting out.
Yeah.
It feels like a total misfire, in my opinion.
Like, don't worry, we're gonna go back to the generic shit.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna have our random villain of the week. But can I be honest with you? What the best part of that movie was?
What?
It was Pierce Brosnan, who, when I say quite literally, could not have given. And I know he's kind of effortless to begin with, but when I say that man could not have given 2/5 of a shit about that movie, like he literally just could not have cared in the slightest.
Was he just sleepwalking through it?
A little bit, but in like a very endearing and in a very, for at least for me, okay, like hats off to you, Pierce Brosnan, because they just went up to him like, Pierce, we have this 3-film arc for you in these Black Adam movies. Here's $45 million. He's like, give me 25 and I'll do one, and I want it in my contract that I never have to do another one. And that's kind of what it felt like on the screen.
The
I can't,
hard out.
yeah, I can't verify for a fact that is what happened behind the scenes, but it just felt like it a little bit.
Mhm. Was The Rock at least good in his performance, or is it just another generic Rock performance?
I actually think The Rock's very talented. Like, I think he's like a really talented actor. It does get a little tough because he kind of plays all the same characters, and the problem is he does not have the script picking capability that Arnold Schwarzenegger had. Because I think the Rock is super talented as like a performer. I think he just picks like trash. And Jumanji, the first one, it's like the only really good, like pretty solid movie I've seen him in. Like, I feel like all the other ones are just kind of like, unless you're into Fast and Furious. If you are, I'm not, but I've
Yeah,
heard
Hobbs
those.
and Shaw was okay, but yeah, it's just like, Arnold Schwarzenegger had his James Camerons, he has John McTiernan, and it's just like, where's the Rock's version of that? I mean, like, the guy who does Jumanji, he did, I forget his name off the top of my
Is it
head, but
Justin Lin?
no, it's the same guy who did Jake Cashton. He did Walk Hard, so he's a good director and stuff like that, but he's not on the level of James Cameron or whatever.
No, no.
The Rock is like one of those performers like your Seth Rogen or whatever, where I feel like he plays like the same character over and over and over again. So much so there's that meme of like The Rock in like a jungle, and it's 4 different pictures, and it's just like all 4 of these pictures are a different movie, even though they look like the exact same thing.
That's kind of my thing. Is he doesn't really go past that, and I know for a fact that because The Rock still makes appearances on WWE and stuff. So for WWE, they have a screenwriter whose job it is for The Rock. Any script that gets written that The Rock is going to be casted in, they punch up the dialogue to be more like the WWE Rock, to like blur that line between him being like a serious performer. So like The Rock, John Cena, they all have that kind of stipulation. That's why all their characters feel the same, because like they're all the WWE character.
At least like John Cena feels a little bit different. I feel like I prefer John Cena personally because I feel like John Cena is more willing to make.
He's doing more weird stuff. Like he did that
Yeah,
comedy, like that vacation comedy one.
that was fun. Yeah, Vacation Friends.
Yeah, vacation. Yeah, Friends on
It was
Vacations or whatever.
it was a decent like Sunday hangover movie. I mean, he's willing to make himself more the butt of the joke than The Rock is. The Rock like
Oh
will
yeah,
never
for sure
lose a
not.
fight. The Rock it takes himself too seriously, where he just won't like let himself be like, a jackass or something like that, or just like, hilarious. Like John Cena in Peacemaker was amazing.
Tommy, I will outwork you. You're gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. Too bad. I've been up since 3 a.m. at the gym for the 3rd time in 2 hours. That's what The Rock does. That's how The Rock stays on top. Do you understand?
I guess I do.
That's the first time I ever tried a Rock impression. How was it?
Like a 2 out of 10. I thought you were going for a
Awesome.
John Cena the whole time. I thought you were doing John
Did
Cena.
it sound more John? Did it sound more John Cena than like? How was it as a John Cena impression? Because it can be a John Cena impression if you really want.
It was more of like a 5 out of 10 for a John Cena, but 2
All
out
right,
of 10 if I was going for The Rock. So
all right,
just edit,
cool.
just
I'll
go in
take
the editing
that.
bay and go in the editing bay and just say like, this is my John Cena impersonation.
No, I'm just gonna leave this all in because I think it's kind of funny, to be honest with you. But if I had to rank Black Adam on a comic book movie scale, it's probably like just all those. It's probably like a 2 out of 5. If I'm ranking it on like my movie scale, it's like a 1 out of 5. I
Damn.
really didn't care for it. The CGI looked horrendous. There's like one of the worst kid actors I've quite literally ever seen in it's not his fault, like, but he there's like a moment where he has to give this like very impassioned speech. Like I didn't think he was great all the way through, but it's supposed to be like the climax of like, your hero's down at his lowest point, like everybody's at their lowest point and he needs to inspire the people. When I say that kid just didn't have the voice, an inspirational voice, he just didn't. I thought like some of like the hero stuff was kind of cool, but like I don't know, I've never watched it again, and frankly I kind of forgot a lot of what happened. So
Bad. Yeah.
if you like Black Adam, you already know that you'll like it. If you're kind of curious, I'd say a hard pass.
Well, the thing is, I mean, like before, I guess we'll end on this, but like the Black Adam is a character that even as someone that's me like reads comic books, he's not like a big popular character. He's like a villain, but like it's not like we're talking about Spider-Man or like even Daredevil to an extent. But it's just like, who gives a shit about Black Adam?
Yeah, and which makes it feel like why didn't they take more liberties in the script to just kind of go all out bonkers weird, and like it just felt very like cookie cutter superhero origin story. Yeah, I was just kind of I went to the bathroom in the middle and I searched up the runtime just to see how much longer I had in the movie. So that's always a good sign of the quality of a movie.
Yeah.
But that's not the movie we watched for this week. This week, it's The Mighty Ducks.
From Walt Disney Pictures, he's a hotshot attorney who's never lost.
Yes!
Forced to coach a hockey team that's never won.
Keep swinging. Maybe I'll give him a cold.
He'll try to teach them how to win.
You think losing is funny?
Well, not at first, but once you get the hang of it.
And they'll teach him
Get off the roof, you little monkey!
that winning isn't everything.
Let's have fun out there.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Emilio Estevez.
Are we ducks or what?
The Mighty Ducks. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Ducks fly together in this 1992 classic, The Mighty Ducks. Starring Emilio Estevez as Gordon Bombay, he plays a hot-shot lawyer who has to coach a pee-wee hockey team after a court settlement for a DUI. Sounds like they casted the wrong Estevez for this role, if you ask me, Tommy.
Well, they apparently almost casted Charlie, but then he's like, just give it to my brother instead. He can take it.
So I was looking at Emilio Estevez's Wikipedia page, and so I was like, what the hell happened to this guy? And there's not much there. But I saw a weird fact on his Wikipedia page and obviously is a Wikipedia fact, so who knows? But somebody calculated that he has the highest ROI per film out of any actor ever in Hollywood. So for like each film he's in, because he doesn't have like a huge filmography. I saw this and I was kind of baffled by it. Hang on, I need to now re-pull this up because that was.
Well, I'm looking up. I mean, like obviously, he had like St. Elmo's Fire and like The Breakfast Club and like even Repo Man that were like really popular movies. But I mean, like I don't know. I could have sworn he was in some bombs. Like I could have sworn Maximum Overdrive, that Stephen King movie.
Yeah, that like definitely didn't do well.
Yeah, that feels like some Wikipedia bullshit right there. So on the Mighty Ducks itself, I mean, do you think a Disney movie would ever have like a major plot point being a DUI again for like their kids movie?
Okay, did you start Andor? I know this is Star Wars and not Disney, but did you start Andor?
No.
So I was like kind of completely against it. And then Jim Maxwell, who's this Emmy Award winning VFX and like matte painter, who he guests on Red Letter Media stuff all the time. He tweeted out, so I like respect his opinion. He knows what stuff. He goes, I think that Andor is the best thing Star Wars has done since The Empire Strikes Back. And I know that guy would not say that sentence lightly. So I checked out the first episode. First episode was like really good. And they definitely go into more of like a darker place in the opening than I would have thought. Like in terms of just the locale.
That's Star Wars. Star Wars, you can at least get away with that. But like, I would be shocked if like, I know they did a sequel series to this on Disney Plus. I'd be shocked if the Disney Plus sequel series like went down that place. This movie was originally supposed to be a little bit darker. It was supposed to be about an ex-NHL player who is an alcoholic and he seeks revenge on his old coach by coaching opposite him. And then Disney bought the script and pretty much they just sanded off like the rough edges right there and kind of, DUIs, I guess, a little bit better than like a fucking alcoholic, I guess. And it just made it like, played up the comedy a little bit more and downplayed the adult themes. So yeah, it could have been, remember that Ben Affleck movie that came out?
The basketball coach one with like the depressing, like he's an alcoholic and he's like, you could just tell the script of that story from the trailer where it's like, you got to coach these kids, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been what the Mighty Ducks probably would have ended up like. Yeah, which could have been interesting, but I don't know.
Well, depending on how funny it would have been, I guess it could have been just like a true ripoff of the Bad News Bears. Because I mean, this concept is the Bad News Bears.
Yeah, this is Bad News Bears hockey edition.
Hockey and Disney hokied up and like definitely not as brutal. Like there's the whole cheating scene when he's first game coaching or whatever it was, and he tells Charlie like to take the fall so that they can try to win the game, and Charlie's like, no, I know not to do that, that's wrong. And then I think of Bad News Bear when the bases are loaded and he goes to the kid, he goes, stick your arm out, wear one.
Yeah. Well, it kind of plays a lot of the same beats of like any like generic like kid sports movie where it's just like, oh, we got to find like another kid on the team, and the kid on the team is like this rough and tumble kid or something like that, or like some badass like Jackie Earle Haley and Bad News Bears. And I forget what the one it was in this one, but the one who like slapped the window shut or something like that. Emilio Estevez I thought was great though. I mean, he played it like really well and just it was really comedic in it.
It was, and like the character has a nice little little arc in there, where he kind of goes from just selfish winning lawyer, right,
Mm.
to now he's like a team player. He's part of the team. Like he quits his job at the law firm because of the laws of the kids where the kids live and whatever it was. It's a nice arc. He falls in love with Charlie's mom because that's just kind of what has to happen, right? Like
The plot required it.
all
Essentially.
early 90s movies have a major case of not gays, where it's like
Yeah.
there has to be some kind of love interest in
Yeah.
there. But I mean, it was sweet. It wasn't as bad as like Top Gun Mavericks, where it was like that was strictly so that Tom Cruise can say he's not gay,
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
allegedly Church of Scientology, allegedly not gay.
yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So I mean, like, it was just one of those things. I mean, the love interest in this movie did kind of feel tacked on. I mean, this was a movie in terms of the script that, like, I could tell all the beats like right before they're coming. Like the second that mom was introduced, I was like, oh, she's gonna be the one that teaches Emilio Estevez about like the importance of like
Mm-hmm.
the kids or something like that. And then like his old coach immediately was gonna be like, oh, this guy's gonna be like the dick. He was essentially the analog of the Bad News Bears coach who hits the kid at the end, and that's how like he knows the bad guy or whatever.
Well, I will say not all the jokes landed for me, but obviously a lot of them are not targeted for me at this age. I think there's a lot of good like little quips in the movie.
Mhm.
But I think in terms of like true humor, it's definitely meant for a 6, 7, 8 year old. But I think it keeps that light tone up, and it's kind of contrasted by like pretty heavy like emotional stuff that I didn't realize, like in terms of like Gordon coming to the realization of why he's being a part of this team, like what he needs to take from it, from the guy who makes the skates and stuff. Like there's real heart to hearts and like real emotion. And like I have, I've seen this movie when I was a kid. I can't say I've seen this since I was 10 years old, so most of it is
Yeah, right across your head. Yeah, I mean, just in general, like how the movie opens up with like that is my immediate thought of just like him being told like if you don't make this shot, you're gonna let everyone down, and just like oh my god, it's the kind of like the through line of the movie that I found so like hilarious was like the opposing coach. I forget his name, but the opposing coach just how seriously he took Pee Wee hockey to the extent where it's just like, come on, dude, like you don't need to take this. It's whatever. It's Pee Wee hockey. Like Gordon had the right mindset of just being like, it's a game. I support you if you make the shot or not. That's the way you should go. Or as compared to this other coach being like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't make this goddamn shot right now, kid.
none of you make the team next year if you don't make this shot. You're a nobody. Yeah, no. So that's Coach Jack Riley, who coached Gordon Bombay when he was a kid, and the movie opens with Bombay having to take the exact same shot that Charlie has to take at the end of the movie, and he misses it, of course, and he's hated Pee Wee hockey ever since. He's hated hockey. I mean, if they picked one place where Pee Wee hockey is probably massive, I would imagine Minnesota's probably like the right state for that.
Yeah, of all the ones you could do. So.
And I really liked how they introduced Bombay to the kids when he pulls up on the ice with the limo. They're like, he's like, you're pulling up on the ice. He's like, it's sturdy enough. Don't worry about it. Like, and I thought it was a pretty nice dynamic, like engagement with probably the funniest moment, in my opinion, of the movie, where you kind of start to get a sense of where the contrast is going to begin in the movie.
Yo, dude, you obviously in the wrong hood. This is my dominion. It's a drug-free zone, you understand? Yeah, man, that's right. We ain't buying nothing. Now, I'm feeling generous today. Come on. So I'm gonna let you get your side vanilla booty out of here before we be using your eyeballs as hockey pucks.
Thanks, bro. But I'm not going home till I take care of business.
See you later.
District 5 Pee Wee hockey team. I'm Gordon Bombay. I'm the new coach.
Yeah, right.
Afraid so, dude. Got the roster right here. Averman, Dave, Conway, Charlie, Paul, Terry. Now here's the long and the short of it. I hate hockey and I don't like kids.
It was supposed to be a pep talk.
Look, I'm sure this will be a real bonding experience. And maybe one day, one of you will even write a book about it in jail.
Funny.
Is there a goalie?
Only for a little while. I'm moving back to Philly.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
All right, get out on the ice. Let me see what you can do.
Just so you know, you really suck.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
So I kind of like just how quippy they were back and forth, saying the line like maybe one of you will write a book about it from prison. Like they're never putting that line in a Disney movie today. I can tell you that much.
Exactly. There's just like an immediate like tension between him and the kids right there, and I feel like the banter between all the kids was really good. I feel like this movie didn't have as many standout like great kids or like hilarious kids as like other movies we cover on the pod, like The Sandlot, or where other than the goalie, I think the goalie was probably the highlight of the kids for me.
Goldberg, Reed. I liked Averman, who would just make like he had that very Larry David kind of like delivery where he's just kind of cracking nicknames and stuff like that, like at random times. None of them really get a ton of screen time outside of Charlie and like Fulton, and Fulton's is just to have him join the team.
Yeah, exactly. Where they pretty much just like other than him and the goalie, Goldberg was Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg was the goalie.
Yeah. So like, most of them didn't really get that much stand-up moments. What I loved was like noticing at some points in the movie, like all these kids are wearing like these fucking like punk rock fucking clothes and stuff like that. Like one of the kids like dressed up in like a leather jacket with like studs on it. It's like, Jesus Christ, where the fuck are these kids getting this from?
He listens to Nirvana. I can tell you that much, Tommy. His older brother has Smells Like Teen Spirit, dude.
Yeah, it was early 90s. Grunge was in, so that's all the kids were dressing like.
Yeah, and the kids definitely all have good chemistry within them. You're kind of right in terms of the standout. From what I remember, D2 does a better job of that. And from what I remember, I enjoyed that one more as a kid. I think that's probably inverted. I would imagine that's inverted now if I was going to rewatch D2, because I felt like this one had, as we were saying, like, sincere moments of like levity, reflection, and growth for Gordon's character that they don't really have in sometimes these movies, especially when they're really cheaply done. They cut all that stuff out. And even we kind of crapped on the love interest, when he takes her on the date to the ice sculptors and stuff, and she's like, Charlie is loving that coach, and it's not fair to him for you to be in his life for a little bit and then step out. And he's like, well, what about to you, right? Like it felt like kind of natural, like let Estevez kind of play into his charisma there. But it's like they're ultimately sweet moments. And then when you contrast that with the goofy sense of humor, I think it works really well.
Yeah, generally the movie like wants to put a focus on, if anyone, just Emilio Estevez. I feel like it probably could have benefited a little bit to like play up the ensemble just a little bit more, maybe, of just like having like kids have more a little bit stand up moments. Because like, I watched this about 4 hours ago and I'm struggling to remember the names of like majority of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of like any of these movies, like even like if you go back to this Sandlot, you have Squints, Porter, and Benny the Jets Rodriguez. Are you gonna remember all of the other kids, Tommy?
No.
Yeah, so I think that's any of them, especially with an ensemble. Like they're not all going to have those standout moments, but with a hockey team, when they have like 15 kids on the team or whatever it is, it's really hard to make all of them have a moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not expecting everyone, but it was just like some ones when I was looking back and like looking at some of the cast where like, a lot of these people have gone on to like have great careers. Like one of the kids was in the Daredevil Netflix show, like a prominent role in that, Eldon Hansen or whatever. It was weird seeing him
Who's
pop
Fulton?
up. Yeah, I think it's Fulton. Yeah. What's his? I think Charlie like it still shows up in a lot of stuff. He was in like Fringe and stuff like that. So it could have been good. I mean, and Sean Weiss, I know from Freaks and Geeks, but also like, did you hear about he was like a fucking meth head or something after?
Yeah. I don't like talking about that. I'm just gonna let Goldberg's spirit live on forever.
Yeah, well, he's getting better. He's better now. So, well, Emilio Estevez, like we said, like he's a great performance. He's like plays that little perfect smart aleck role. Apparently, other people up for the role though were Bill Murray, shockingly. But they thought Bill Murray's getting too old for this role, so they passed on him. And then Charlie Sheen's brother, Emilio Estevez's brother. Tom Cruise apparently, and Tom Hanks and Michael J. Fox. I don't know how much I believe the two Toms, but Michael J. Fox I could see in this role.
This is way too big for Tom Hanks. That sounds like in a pitch meeting. They're like,
Mm.
maybe we can get Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And then that's that, right? Like there's no
I could see Tom Cruise in like the drama version of this, of like, you know, I think it was The Way Back was the Ben Affleck movie. It was like a version
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's what it was, The Way Back. Yeah, if this was like the more dramatic tone, I could see the two Toms then. For this lighthearted one, they definitely weren't actually considered.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have just been IMDb bullshit right there. So and then apparently for Charlie, Leonardo DiCaprio was auditioned for this, and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
So
I saw that too. Yeah, that would have been really like, I think, what was the other movie with Lee? Oh, Hocus Pocus too, with
yeah,
Leo, where we're like, oh man, this movie takes on a whole different tone if Leo's in it. Like this movie also takes on a whole different tone in terms of rewatchability with Leo in it.
oh yeah, he would have been so charismatic because Charlie was like good, but he was kind of like the generic like, oh like, don't you forget about me. I'm not gonna cheat. Oh, come on. It was a fine performance, but it wasn't anything special.
Kid with abandonment issues because his dad left them or whatever, right? With a
Yeah.
single mom who starts falling in love with the coach as a dad,
What
as a father figure.
what I love for the through line of Charlie was that like throughout the movie, he's like, yeah, just fuck my mom. Come on.
Yeah, he was literally like, when he goes on the date, it's like, yeah, the three of us can go together. He's like, no, I kind of got some homework. Why don't you just take my mom? He was like, I want you to be my dad, dude.
Yeah, like come on, dude. Like you're gonna have sex with my mom. I swear. Come on.
Yeah, and also at the end, you know, they tie the game up. Somebody has to take the last shot. Charlie's never been the biggest player on the team. Who does Gordon Bombay pick? None other than Charlie. And it's like, I was just sitting there. I'm like, if I was a parent in the crowd and I saw them pick Charlie and he wasn't the best player on the team, I'd be like, you're only picking this because you're trying to fuck them up. Like that would be the thought in my head. And if he missed it, you'd probably hear about it, right? Like you would
like
hear
nepotism.
about that decision. Yeah, total nepotism.
Oh, exactly. Just like, come on, Gordon's trying to like get it in right there. Like you can't score 2 goals, Gordon. Come on.
He's trying to pull the goaltender right there.
Exactly. So just ridiculous when you think about it more and more.
Yeah, so maybe that's where you're seeing some of those darker tones, right, from the original script, kind of like, or not darker undertones, but not as family friendly, that like still remained from the script. Like imagine in that original one where it's like he's the drunk who's trying to get with the mom, and he puts Charlie, who maybe is the worst player on the team, and like some of the dads are just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're putting this kid in because you're trying to fuck them." Like that's a scene in like the major league version of this movie, right? Like in the R-rated comedy, drama, whatever it is, version of this movie. But I thought, you know, you kind of really get to see Estevez shine when he's going up against Coach Jack Riley, who's Lane Smith. So this is right after Bombay is able to steal one of Riley's star players, Adam Banks, because they redrew the district zones, and he gets taken over there. And then this is Riley's confrontation after he alerts the team that this guy is now a mighty duck.
Gordon? Hey, Bombay, you stop when I'm talking to you, son. What's the idea here? You trying to sabotage me or what?
Well, it's a bitch when it works against you, isn't it, Jack? Look, you got a whole team full of Banks. This one kid isn't gonna make a difference.
Even with Banks, what do you think you're gonna prove, you and that bunch of losers?
That's right, Coach. They are losers. And we hate losers, don't we? They don't even deserve to live. Maybe you're right. Maybe Banks won't make a difference. But at least we're playing by the rules.
Why'd you turn against me, Gordon? For 6 years, I taught you how to skate. I taught you how to score. I taught you how to go for the W. You could have been one of the greats. And now look at yourself. You're not even a has-been. You're a never was.
It's that like emotional through line of like, you know, Bombay coming to the realization of like he wants to do the, you know, lead this team, versus I need to sign this note and get the hell out of here, like he was in the beginning. And two of the kids, I think it was, I'm not going to even try to guess the names. I'm not sure which two kids, they overhear that and they don't want to play for Bombay because they miss the sarcasm. They don't pick up on the sarcasm where he says, "Oh yeah, we are just a bunch of losers" or whatever.
Mhm.
I just think it's a good, like, it's like ultimately what the conflict of the movie is Bombay versus his old coach and getting that redemption for the way he treated him when he was a kid for missing that shot.
Mhm. I just love the through line of just like how seriously people just take Pee Wee hockey in this town of Minnesota right there, where like, you know, he gets fired over his job for not like taking the kid back and stuff like that. It's just at a certain point,
That's youth sports in general, though. People
Yeah.
take those super seriously.
it's like almost like the soccer mom thing. Part of this movie was kind of ruined for me because of South Park, that episode where
Oh,
yeah, and Stan Marsh is about to find out.
yeah.
I was just thinking of that all the time when I was watching this movie. Just like, God, I need to watch that episode again.
Yeah, there obviously Mighty Duck influences in that episode of South Park.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, Tommy. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, but who was the star of this movie? Is it Emilio Estevez's show? Does he steal it? Does he earn the spotlight?
I think that it's Emilio Estevez all the way. I mean, none of the kids really stand out that much. I can call one of the kids as like one of the ones. I mean, Goldberg probably has the most like funny moments, but even then, they don't really touch upon his character other than he's like the quirky goalie, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I like Jack Riley's performance. That actor whose name is slipping me, Lane Smith. I think he gives a really nice performance. I also want to shout out Josh Ackland, who plays Hans, who's like the skate guy, like the guy who makes the skates and like owns the hockey equipment store, who's just there as like the uplifting character for two scenes for Bombay when he needs it. Like,
Yeah, random sentimental moment.
Random exposition that gets kind of framed as sentimental value. That's what his position is. And then of course at the end of the movie, he's like, "I'm proud of you, Gordon." And it's like, you were in the movie for 5 minutes, dude. How are you second billed on this? Like, what's going on here?
What happened here? Well, because kids never can be like first billed, I guess, unless you're Macaulay Culkin back in the 90s.
Yeah, I think you need a little more clout than that to get higher billed. I would say it's probably Emilio Estevez. It ultimately is one of his most iconic performances, which is weird enough, and especially for kids of the early 90s, like with D2 and D3, like the Mighty Ducks trilogy, like those lived on forever. I mean, Disney literally bought an NHL team and named them the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Like there's literally a hockey team named after this movie.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane to think about that. Like, just how much power Disney still has. They could still do that if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, they could, but they're not.
They're out of the sports business because they don't own the Ducks anymore.
Yeah, they don't own Ducks, but they got the name.
Yeah,
and Heidi King as Casey, who's Charlie's mom. It's weird that she's listed on this billing as Casey Conway, and I'm like, who's and it's like it should have just said Charlie's mom. I would have known who that was. Like, I don't think she's referred to by her first name one time. I thought she was fine. Joseph Sommer as Mr. Ducksworth. He was fine. Like, everybody else was kind of like fine. It's really just Lane Smith and Emilio Estevez that kind of like carry this thing up and heighten the stakes of the tournament.
They elevate it past like, this is essentially a generic script, but they elevate it a little bit past the generic script.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
Tommy, would the Mighty Ducks work as a Muppet adaptation?
So I'm thinking like you put like Sam the Eagle as Emilio Estevez's character. It's just like a hard.
Wouldn't it be Kermit? It has to be Kermit, right? Or do you keep Emilio Estevez and everybody else as a Muppet?
Sam the Eagle would be the coach, Jack.
Yes,
coach Jack.
Yes, that's like perfect Sam the Eagle casting. Who would be Goldberg?
Fozzie would be Goldberg.
Fozzie's Goldberg. I feel like Gonzo would be Reed, right? Like kind of like the outcast guy. Then maybe Kermit as Charlie.
It would be okay, but like again, like this movie like wasn't cartoonish enough. I mean, the only thing I knew about the Mighty Ducks like as a kid was I remember the Toy Story VHS I had an advertisement for the Mighty Ducks cartoon show, which was like ducks that were like played hockey and were superheroes or some shit.
Yeah, it was not at all like the movie The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Well, to speak on it here, it had a budget of $14 million and made a whopping $50.8 million, which is really good for like a kids movie, like these generic kids sports movies that were popping up at the time. That's a really solid return on investment for Disney there. Estevez said he was kind of surprised at the results, like of the popularity of the movies, because like it got so critically panned. It had 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was pretty critically panned. Also, I was looking at Emilio Estevez's Wikipedia page, and I think of him against his brother, right? Charlie Sheen. I scroll down to personal life. Do you want to know how boring Emilio Estevez's personal life tab on Wikipedia is? It's literally 5 lines. In November 2021, Estevez revealed that he tested positive for COVID-19 in March 2020, and then he suffered from long COVID while filming the Mighty Ducks Game Changers in summer and fall of 2020. Do you know how boring of an actor you have to be for that to be like, oh, it's been like 10 years since we've really updated it, so I guess we gotta like
we'll
put something. He had COVID.
Whoa, shit! Like so many other fucking people. Meanwhile, his brother just like cocaine stories.
It's
like
just
strippers.
like personal life broken down into like 7 different parts there, and you're just like, oh, one was the good boy who didn't do as well in Hollywood, and one was the bad boy
who did pretty decent in Hollywood. Well, I mean, I guess like he didn't inherit because Martin Sheen, I think, has his own issues himself too.
Yeah, he did. Martin and Charlie Estevez. But Martin was able to kind of bounce back from it, and Charlie was not able to at all.
No.
All right, review time, Tommy. Give me your score to 5.
So I think this is a fun little movie. The script was a little bit generic, and this movie for the most part kind of hit familiar beats of like Bad News Bears and very similar other sports comedies. The kids, for the most part, didn't stand out this much, but I did find this a little bit charming. And Emilio Estevez, I think, gave a great performance here that really kept a good through line throughout the movie. I'm going to go 3 out of 5 here. So it was a fun movie, but it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, I'm going to give this 2.5 out of 5. Like, I think it's right down the middle of like what you're looking for in this kind of movie. And I think it does it to the best of its ability. For me, on my scale, that feels like just like an average movie. Like, this movie doesn't have anything super crazy special about it, but it has a lot of charm and heart, and it has a lot of sentimentality to it. And I think it pulls it off really well. Emilio Estevez gives a really nice performance, and it's an iconic movie, and people still talk about it to this day. There's like a Disney Plus series that's being made. Like, these movies have staying power, and people love them for a reason. Definitely worth your time if you've never seen Mighty Ducks and you want to see it.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, any final thoughts?
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on social media at SeenItPod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And leave us a 5-star review, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Really helps us out. And next week, we're covering another Michael Douglas sex movie, Fatal Attraction.
Is there a trilogy, or are these just the 2 Michael Douglas sex movies?
I think there's like Disclosure is another one.
Okay, so we have so we're gonna have a trilogy that we're gonna have to put in of the Michael Douglas weird sex movies, huh?
Yeah. So we had Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, and then I guess Disclosure sometime down the line.
So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next week.